Hi, happy Monday and welcome to November. This is going to be that edition. I'm going to call it edition. This is this is an edition of Coffee with Coach. We're going to be like, hey, does she have a cold? I'm going to be like, dudes, you guys, you don't even know. Not COVID, not strep, not technically the flu, though. Boy, did it feel like it. Today is the first day I can think. Like I like what I don't be alarmed. I woke up today and I was like, oh my God, I feel like a person. I don't sound like a person, but I feel like one. If I have a coughing fit, let's hope that doesn't happen. I'm prepared with cough drops and water. But if it does, I'll just hit mute and go away for a second. I'll come right back. It happens. I have no control over it. I know it's rude. Anyway, so happy to see you guys. If you're here, come say hi. So I know you're here. I'm seeing some numbers come in. So make sure you come say hi. I am doing our angel reading card. And I almost changed the title of today. Sorry. Only because I feel like so many people don't care about success anymore. Is that funny? I feel like people do not care about success. And here's what I'll say about our conversation today. Thank you for the like. You guys are so nice. Keep them coming. And make sure you say hi so I know you're here. But the thing about success I found is people are associating it with the grind, right? Or with private jets. Yeah. Rude. And so I don't want you to think that, okay? This is going to be a little bit different. And we're talking about success as defined by you today. All right, so here's our angel card as people are joining. Well, stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Use guys. It's assertiveness. Can you see that? Let's see if I can get it close enough. No, don't focus on me. There we go. Assertiveness. And I love that she's playing the flute. So this situation can be healed gently and with love as you requested, yet there's also a need for your strength and truthfulness with the other people involved. All right, you guys, if you're listening and you know there's somebody you need to tell the truth to, this one's for you. And remember, your best life is usually 10-minute sweaty conversation away. So true. We will stand right behind you as you speak your truth, giving your strength and guiding you word. I'm going to try that again. I'm so sorry, you guys. This is faster than the rest of this is healing. Okay. We will be giving you strength and guiding your words. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm going to change this so I can make sure I'm seeing your chats. Live chat. There we go. Hi. Hi, Megan. I'm feeling somewhat better. I know. I can think today. I actually folded the blankets on the couch. You guys have blankets on your couch. I always have blankets on the couch. It's been 7 days of it looks like a bomb went off in my house, you know? I'm really glad you guys can't see my desk. I have not gotten to my desk yet. Yeah. Hey, Alex. It is your favorite day. Hey, Anna. Good morning. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys had a great week. I don't remember most of last week. I don't remember. I'm just going to be super straight with you guys as we talk about what has us be successful. I don't remember the last time I was this sick. I really don't. It was unbelievable. It still is unbelievable. This is day 7 and I still sound like this. But it's so humbling, isn't it? Sorry. I apologize, you guys. But it is so humbling to be reminded of how important our health is, right? Which is a big piece of, I know you're going to be surprised, right? I'm talking about this today. I hope you guys can see me with my reflection in my glasses. I thought I'd go with a different look today. Different sound, different look. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, is that our health is a huge piece of our success. And I don't even like the word success anymore either, you guys. I literally, like I told you, I almost changed today's title because it's more about being happy. And it's about being intentional. Right. And in success, it's so funny. I don't know about you guys, maybe because I was a kid in the 80s, but I still picture success as risky business, right? Like the Wolf of Wall Street kind of feel. That's what success, it's weird. And so sometimes I can hear the word success and think stuff like that. And that's not what I want to talk about today at all. So the first key to ensuring your success. Oh, I'm sorry you had it too, Anna. That stinks. Hey, Brenda. I'm so happy to see you here. Yeah, it's they told us we'd get super viruses, right? They were not kidding. Anyway, whatever. So part of success, number one, is defining what it is for you. And that might sound cliche, but I have to tell you, my industry, we are up against it right now. And what I mean by that is some of the most important principles that we coaches, those of us in the personal and professional industries, right? Um, we're really up against the memes and the triteness and the fluff that has been out there for so long. So when I say something to you, like you hear me say that a lot, right? Like it makes me mad. And today's going to be about one of the biggest ones that I think has been thrown around, but it makes me mad when people just throw around really important coaching principles, right? And one of the first is I can't help you be successful if you don't know what that means to you. And I'll tell you right now, if you're defining it by what you're seeing out there, what you're watching someone else in your industry do, you're already way behind the 8 ball because that's not yours. That's their path. And let's hope to God they chose that path themselves too, and they're not copying someone else. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy to do, to like just see what's out there and assume that that's what you should be too. That's what you should be doing too. And that's just not the case. So one of the ways to ensure your success is to define it for yourself. Right. And I talk to you guys all the time. You can see other coffees with coach where I say, break your industry. You can't do that if you're copying everyone. Right. I don't know anybody else who does coffee with coach. We totally made it up, didn't we? In the pandemic, all of us, yay, showed up every day for 4 months. Right. We made this up together. And we all loved it so much, I kept doing it, right? But that was made up. We did this, you guys. We broke the coaching industry this way. I don't know anybody else who does this. I'm sure there are some people, but I don't know anybody else who does it. And I didn't copy somebody to do it. Does that make sense? I'm not saying, yay, me, do it like me, but I'm just saying it was one of those things that just sort of happened. It was like, oh, wow, we broke something here. That's cool. You want to do that and you want to define that for yourself. So if you have your journal, which I always encourage you to do during Coffee with Coach, I would love for you to take a second right now and define what is success for you. Is it a financial success? And if so, what is it for you? Don't do that 6-figure BS. Don't do the 7-figure. I don't care. I don't know where those numbers came from. It's BS. I want you to pick something based on what you need, right? What's going on for you? What does your life require and why? Okay. So that's the first thing I want you to just take a second right now. I'm going to say hi in some of the comments, but right now, just write down, what does it mean to you? And if it's not financial success, is it relationship success? Is it friendship success? Is it community success? Feeling like you have people you can turn to? Is it team success? I will say for me, I can check that off. This team was effing amazing last week. You guys are going to hear this in tomorrow's podcast episode. But on the day where I was supposed to record the Sarah Uncuts for November and December and the podcast episodes for November and December, guess what happened? Yeah, there was no recording happening at all. So I wrote to the team from bed in my phone. I'm like, guys, we have a problem, right? The team rallied and made sure that we had content going out while I couldn't produce content. Is that amazing? Right? That's team success in my eyes. People who are so in line with the Team Sarah vision, with what we're doing to put more money in the hands of more women, they stepped up and took over when I couldn't. You know what I mean? They did that last year too when my dad had his accident. Amazing. So maybe that's something you can put down for success. Let that roll around in your head while you figure out what success is for you. Zeus says, Zeus, you're such a party. Zeus is always a party. Wherever Zeus is, there's a party. I love it. And then Anna said, we're so used to thinking of success as flashy. Yes, the big car, the big house, the private plane, the big diamonds. But it's all BS. Yes. Working less while earning more. I love that, Brenda. That is a huge sign of success. I think that's really great. And that right there, what I actually call that, I think. So there's two things there, Brenda. I just want to stick to this for a second as a business coach, because what she just said is really, really important. And there's a couple pathways to doing that, right? To making more while doing less. One is to have what we call passive income. And my favorite example of this is not what most business coaches use, I don't think, but for me, it's actors. Do you guys know how much I love film and TV? And for me, it's actors. They perform. I'm sorry, let me be clear. Film and TV actors, not stage actors. Okay. Stage actors are awesome too. But when we're talking about passive income, looking at the recorded version of acting, right? Because they do that scene however many times they have to take that scene. Sometimes it's 5 or 6, but they do it that day. It's done and they get paid on it for years. That's passive income, right? You and I can enjoy reruns of God knows whatever it is you love to watch. There's so many great shows. They're getting paid and we're experiencing it fresh every time, right? Great way to do passive income. And by the way, just so you guys know, it doesn't hurt to talk. I want to be clear. And just so that you guys know, this is where online courses came from in the coaching industry. Was the same idea. We record it once and it can be watched over and over. Same idea, yeah. Anyone in the teaching space, an online course can be that. Oh crap, you guys! I am feeling a coughing spasm coming on. I'm gonna mute. Sorry. I never know when it's going to happen. Yes. Sorry, guys. Brenda, an ebook is the same thing. Anything you can do one time and continue to get paid on. Thank you. I went all morning. Dagnabbit. So yeah, anything you can do one time and continue to get paid on is going to count. Also, I am so sorry. Increasing your prices is another way to make more while doing the same or less. And this comes, you guys, when you can have a proven track record. Okay, this is why testimonials are so important. This is why repeat customers are so important. And the other thing you want to remember is working with a repeat customer is far less expensive than trying to find a new customer. I am so sorry. So those are 3 ways that you can increase your revenue, make more money with working less or the same. Okay. So remember that as you are creating new products, replicate yourself. Okay. This is also where team can come in, replicating yourself somehow. I realized last week, those of you who are in the Game On Girlfriend membership, you heard this directly. But I realized last week, so I right now am running 4 group programs. I'm so sorry, you guys. I really apologize. It's such an unpleasant sound. So I have 2 cohorts of the Sales Mastermind running. I have the Abundance Academy and the sprints. And I realized last week when I got so sick, like all I could do was like be horizontal. Literally, that's all I could do. Was that I needed another coach. I need another coach in those programs who can step in during group coaching programs on days when I can't make it. And, given the medical situation in my house, right? It's happened so often. It's starting to happen, right? Where it's like I'm on a call and the school nurse calls and I've got to deal with something urgently for my daughter. That's going to happen. And most people understand that. And that's totally fine. It takes about 2 minutes. It's no big deal, right? But having another coach there who can step in the group programs, even for that, let's go, right? So understanding how you can replicate yourself is another way to ensure your success. It's another way to make sure things continue with or without you having to actually be the person doing the work. And that, thank you, Brenda, for your note there. That is one of the best ways to ensure your success and make more money while working less. And I also believe, it's so funny. My son and I was like, oh my God, it's so interesting. We're having this conversation this morning on the way to his school. He was talking about one of his classmates who is incredibly wealthy, just super duper wealthy. And one of their other classmates were like, dude, he had a big party at his house or something. And they were like, dude, if I had this much money, there's no way I'd work as hard as you do. And I said to him, I said, oh my God, how sad. Right? There's always opportunity to be learning and growing. And so while we want to make more while working less, what we want to look at is what are we going to do with that time? Do you really just want to sit around? Probably not. Not if you follow me or you're with me, probably not. Like, I just want to do nothing and eat bonbons all day. Probably not. Though that's nice once in a while. Um, for most people, and I've been doing these year-end planning sessions. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention, by the way, we have 2 year-end planning sessions left. So if you guys want one of those, I need to grab that. I'll grab that link for you and put it in the video. But what has so impressed me in these year-end planning sessions that I'm doing with people is that most people are wanting to take classes. They want to learn more. They want to learn how to. I'm hearing everything from learning languages, dancing, art, investing, which I think is fantastic. Someone else wanted to learn how to repair things in their home better, which was funny because I was just repairing drywall the other weekend. All these really cool things that people want to learn and do. And that's what we're talking about. So if you're going to make more money by working less, make sure you know what you want to fill that time with. That is another version of success, right? So it could be for you. The reason that's important is success is not only not having to worry about money, which is I think what most people are after, just not having to actually worry about it. But for other people, it's not just that piece of it. It's all of the other things inside their lives they want to fulfill. And if you don't know what those are, you're going to have a really unhappy life. And I don't know about you, but being unhappy, like unfulfilled happy, like that constant ache I talk about, or that like that thing, when the air conditioner, we talked about this a lot during the pandemic, where like the air conditioner is running in the background and you don't realize how annoying it is till someone turns it off and you're like, oh my God, thank you. Right? You don't want that hum in your life. It's pulling at you because you're not fulfilled. All right. So that's the first piece of success. Megan says you're doing a great job. Thank you, Megan. I'm trying. And I do want to assure you guys, it does not hurt to talk. I know people feel that they're like, oh my God, stop. No, it doesn't hurt to talk. Zeus says she was chatting to a taxi driver this morning about how 9-to-5 job gives you lots of bad habits because you don't care how you spend your time. Huge, Zeus. That's absolutely correct. I'm so glad I'm out of that mindset, being in it for almost 10 years. Absolutely, Zeus. It's amazing, isn't it? Like, how can I waste time? It's like, it's so funny. It's like if you're getting paid for your time, it's not yours somehow. Nope. Always your time. Even if someone's paying you for it, it's still your time. It's still your life that's passing by in those minutes. Zeus, that's such a great realization. And Brenda says, you travel. I would too. I love to travel. I just want to see this world and soak it up, eat all the food, hear all the sounds, all the different languages. Oh, yes, please. Let's go. I'm with you, sister. Let's go. All right. So step number 1 is to actually define it. Only people with a cold call it defined. Okay. We really want to define it. And the next thing you need to do is you really need to pay attention to who you're with. I said in the description today, it's people, places, and things, right? So the people that you can call, you want to ensure your success. You need people around you who know what the hell you're doing. That's a funny way for me to say that, right? But really, if people don't know what your big vision is, how can they support you? And then instead of being annoyed because maybe on Saturday morning you have something you need to attend to that moves your dream and your goals forward, they're actually excited for you, as opposed to like, what the hell's your problem? Why are you doing this again? Like, what? That stops. And instead you have, how can I help this happen? How can I support you? What do you need? And that's on us, you guys. Now, if you have people in your life you feel you can talk to, danger, Will Robinson, danger, right? Like, that's something you want to look at and actually say, okay, if that's true and I can't tell the people in my life what I'm up to, might be time for some new people. I'm not saying you have to cut everybody out. Please don't do that. I know people say that all the time. Like, I can't be your friend because da, da, da. Perhaps there might be times that it's, the relationship has run its course. That absolutely happens. But most of the time you can add in new people. You can add in communities like this, right? Where it's like, come on, Let's go. Let's do stuff together. Let's make sure your dreams happen. It's happened in the Abundance Academy on our group call this last week. We were talking about the importance of having people like this in your life. Um, and several of the participants were like, but I don't have that. It's like, well, we have it here. We have it here. This is a start. And then what can we do to incorporate that into your day-to-day life? Like, how can we get that in real life too? Because we need each other. We learned that, right? We don't always want to go out. Guilty. Right. We don't always want to go out, but how much fun do we have when we do? Right? Like, oh my gosh, how cool is it that we can go out and be with each other? And we always feel better when we do that. Okay. So people, you got to have the right people around you. Places. You know, when you leave a room or you leave a situation, it was not the best place for you to be. Do you know what I'm talking about? You wasted time. It didn't feel good. The conversations weren't great. Those are not the places you should be. That includes online places, by the way. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm sweating. Oh my God. I have like all the physical ailments going on right now. Anyway, I'll be right back. I'm grabbing a tissue. 2 seconds. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. All right. I'm back. Thanks. You guys are so patient today. The other thing about places is not just where you're spending time outside, right? But also where you are when you're working. Like, do you need a place? Like, I love this desk. It's a bit of a mess right now because I haven't gotten to it after a week of just, it's hysterical. I wish you could see. It's mayhem. Yeah. Anyway, so where can you go? What places can you go to be really inspired and to get some work done? And that work could be journaling. It could be doing the year-end planning session with me kind of work. It could be writing. It could be visioning. It could be storyboarding, right? Like, we're working on the website right now. Oh, I can't wait for you guys to see this redesign. Oh, yeah, I'm so excited. Anyway, but it's about like, how is this going to go together? That storyboarding, do you know how that takes so much time and energy to be focused on stuff like that, right? I was working with our awesome chef Rama on some things this weekend, and it's like, what do you need to create new recipes? What does that look like? What is that time and energy going to be for you? You got to know which places you can go to get that. And I'll tell you, as much as I love this office, our public library is like a 7-minute walk from here. There are days where I'm working on the business where I'll go to the library, not because my office is bad, but there's that change in environment, right? The places I can put myself will ensure different levels of success, right? Because I'm not going to be interrupted there in the same way. Like, if I hear the what is that called? The washing machine. If I hear the washing machine beep, or somebody comes to the door with a package, or the dog, like whatever's going on, I don't have any of that. So it's another way you can ensure your success is the places where you're spending your time where you know you shouldn't be. It's not comfortable for you. And if you are still commuting or there's a place that you have to drive to, use that time wisely. There's so many extraordinary podcasts, so many incredible books through Audible, so much you can be doing to fill your life. And maybe for you, it's silence for 10 minutes. We don't get much of that anymore. And maybe that's what you need, but you got to hone your places, okay? And understand the places around you that will also ensure your success. All right? So first you got to know what success is, then you got people, places, things. So this last one, I saw some chats come up. I'll get to you in just 1 sec. But for things, you need to know what's around you. And this sort of has to do with places, but it's about really strategically placing things in your line of sight. Like, as you guys know, I always look up off to the side here. I have our financial goals. I have a list of every single one-on-one client, everyone who's in the membership, everyone who's in the sales mastermind, everyone who's in a sprint, and everyone who's in the Abundance Academy. As these are the souls that I'm working with right now. And I think of them every day, and they're always in my line of sight. Always. They're always there for me to look at. And remember, I'm working with these incredible people who are moving their lives forward. You know how cool that is? That's a thing. I mean, it's a thing. You know what I mean? It's a thing I've created and placed there for me to have to inspire success, to make sure I'm putting my best foot forward. Even when I show up and I have to stop for a coughing fit, you guys keep me going, right? There's something here for me to be doing. And that will also ensure our success, is when we remember something's calling us to greatness. Now, the other thing that you want to look at with things is you need to remove things that tell you a bad story about you. What do I mean by that? So if there are projects you have not finished, if there is I want to say like a relationship that was lost. That makes you sad. Please don't have that picture where you're working. See what I'm saying? You can have it in a different place, like where it's a memory and it's warm and it's something that you want, but not where you're working. Does that make sense? Um, the other thing I want you to really be aware of is any place you've said you were going to clean up or tidy and you have not. What that says to you is, see, you don't do what you say. Oh, that's a negative story about you that you want to remove. And you can do that through things, right? Which things that surround you. And I know there's like The Secret, that whole thing, where they say have a check, made out to you for $10 million. Who did that? Oh, it was Jim Carrey did that, right? I think when he was homeless, he was like, someone's going to pay me $10 million. And I think that's what he got for, I can't remember. I don't know if it was Dumb and Dumber or Mask. I can't remember. But one of those, he was paid that amount. So something like that to call you into action. And the idea is, in order to ensure your success, you have to really control what's around you. You have to really dive into the things and places and people, right, that are pulling you out of your zone of genius, things that are pulling you away from possibility. Do you know when you like goes, I don't know if you guys have had this experience. I hope to God you have it sometimes when you hear me, maybe when I don't sound like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but like you have those moments where you can see the goal, you can see the possibility. You're like, holy crap, it's going to happen for me. That was my Oprah moment, right? Like that's going to happen. And it did. But it's like, I'm going to make that can happen. I can make that happen. I can, and you're so freaking lit up. What caused that? What caused that for you? And then I'm going to ask you, what knocked you out? What knocked you off that course? What had you say, yeah, sure. I'll do it tomorrow. No. Oh, I launched one thing. It didn't work. Oh, I did one post on Instagram. Nobody liked it. I guess it's a failure. Like what knocked you off course and why did you let it? So the last piece here. So we've got the intention, right? You getting clear on what success is. We've got people, places, things. And the last one here is the biggest meme of all. I told you I'd talk about this today, something that just drives me nuts. And I talked about it a little bit when I coached myself in the last Coffee with Coach when I was having such a hard time, is focus. And I will tell you what knocked you out of the way when you were on your path to success and then you got knocked off the way is what you chose to focus on. If you chose to focus on nobody liked my Instagram, right? If you're looking at that instead of being a scientist and saying, okay, so 5 people like this one, 45 people like that one, what's different? What happened? You're going to look at the hashtags. You're going to look at the time of day. You're going to look at the quality of the photo. You're going to look at what you wrote. You're going to look at whether or not you tagged anybody else, right? You're going to dive into that like a scientist and figure it out. And what are you focusing on? You're focusing on what success is. Do you see that? As opposed to labeling it as a failure, you're focusing on how to make every single one successful. If you take nothing from today, I hope you take that. What you focus on makes all the difference, right? And instead of focusing on, see, I'm never going to make it, you focus on what if the next post is the one? What if the next one is the best one I ever do? What if I make it the best it's ever been? And from there, it just goes up. You feel the difference in that? That's what happens when hopefully you hear somebody speak or you're at a conference or you read a book or something. You're so inspired and you can feel everything happening, right? You're like, oh my God, I'm unstoppable. I can do this. That's because that's what you're focusing on. Okay. So if you go back to the one where when life happens, and that's Coffee with Coach, I gave you guys that triangle. Anytime you feel your focus pulling away to ensure your success, go back and do that triangle and you will ensure your own success. And I'll tell you the key ingredient there is what you're focusing on. All right. So today I'm going to get your questions. I'm so sorry. So you have to know what will make you successful. People, places, things, focus. Cool. Okay. Let's see. What else is I'm so sorry, you guys. Whoa. Oh, of course, Anna was like, yes, let's travel. If you guys need to book any travel, call Anna. She has an amazing travel agency. Megan says, I always understand the context of where I'm working, but it matters so much. It really does. And Anna and Megan just went to Italy together. So they're reminiscing about that, which is awesome. Megan says it's like night and day. Seriously, my health, my mental clarity, everything was better in Italy. You should get an office there. You should. You see? Places. Brenda says, podcast like Sarah on the way to school and silence on the way home. I love that, Brenda. I could get the silence on the way home after school, needing just quiet. Yeah, I was talking to my trainer the other day. Well, I guess it was a week ago now because I haven't seen him. And I said, "Don't you listen to podcasts?" He's like, "Oh my God, after being in here, I just have to have silence." I was like, "It's so great. You know that." Hannah says she'll share an office. I love that. All right, Zeus, love you too. Have a great day. And Megan says it's hitting hard this morning. It's surrounded by a hot mess. Yeah. It's hard. I mean, I'm laughing because mine's a hot mess because I was sick. But what an indication. What's the first thing to go when we don't have our health is our surroundings, right? It is one of the first things, our perspective, what we're focusing on. It's all gets us like off track because we don't have this, and so important, right? But then also to notice what happens and how important it is. What it tells you is, see, you're a hot mess. Got to be really careful about that, right? And take the time and energy needed and required to set yourself up to ensure success. All right, you guys, thank you so much for your patience today. I'm so sorry about the coughing fit right in the middle. Of course, it only happened during Coffee with Coach after a fine morning. There we are. You guys are the best. I will see you guys in December. I'm so excited. We're going to round out 2022 with a kick-ass Coffee with Coach. I'm already working on it. Believe it or not, it's true. Very excited. I love you guys to bits. Make today amazing. Please, please, please focus on the things that will give you success, not the things that will take you further away. All right. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.